So, as we all know, the Grand Arena is coming out pretty soon, and I just want to take a look at some of the lesser factions to see if any of the factions are worth using or might be helpful for the Grand Arena, because we're going to need a roster that is not just tall, with like 20 amazing Gear 12 characters, but you also want a wide roster. With a good support cast of Gear 10s and Gear 11s. And I'm gonna start off with some of the lesser known factions because we all know like what the Resistance does, what Jedi does, what the Sith are good at, Empire, Rebels, and all that. And I'm just gonna try to find if there's some hidden gems among the lesser factions. So I'm starting with Separatist. The Separatist is a faction. They have a faction tag, but they don't really have any synergy, at least not in the character section. And you're going to see a motif in the Separatist faction is that they are better used either in another faction or in a mixed faction team, and you don't really want to use them with other Separatists except the Genosians. So probably the most, not counting ships, the most useful character of this bunch is the Ventress. She has 2 Zetas, both of them are amazing. Night Sister Swiftness, you use it for the Sith raid. Rampage, you use it for the Sith raid, you use it for the tank raid. Between Ventress and Talzin, you get 2 amazing leaders that both give you 30 speed and have various effects other than the speed boost. So in arena or territory wars, you can pick and choose which one works best for the situation. But Ventress definitely has more utility because of Heroic Sith. Rampage gives you the stacking offense and max health, and it's amazing. Ventress is a great character, definitely Class A, one of the best characters in the game, but is best used in a Night Sister team, so you don't really want to run her with Separatist. We're going to skip Sun Fact to Dooku, who is the second most important character. And he, for those who played this game when it first launched, he is one of the most annoying characters ever. I love him because he was one of my first Chromium pulls, or no, he was one of my first Bronzium pulls, and I got him at 3 stars, and I loved him. I actually missed out on the Dooku dodge meta because I did not know how to play back then. But he's just someone I really wanted to rank up, and I farmed him through Hard Nose and Cantina as soon as I could. And he is solid. He has an evasion lead that was super annoying, but now every new character has at least one ability that cannot be evaded, so it's kind of useless. But it's universal, so it's definitely good. It's not bound to Separatists or Sith or anything like that, so you can use him as leader. But obviously, for those of you that play in guilds that specializes on territory wars, you know you're going to run him with the Triumvirate team. So he counters and stuns and ability blocks and just ruin the other person's day. He has one of the highest max base speed. I only have him in 226 plus 59. But he's still doing good. And if you want to go for the Cis Agent title, you need to get him to Gear 12 for the second level, I think. And the next most important character in the Separatist faction is Sunfac. Now, in my opinion, Sunfac is the OG super OP character when he was first released. He was first released through Erodiums. So not even everyone could buy it. You have to have paid some money in this game prior. But his basic, his like Nihilus or Paplu, it dispels all buffs. This is insane, especially since he also countered on Subjugate, Taunt, but it's just normal Taunt. Offense down, remove Terminator, that's fine. I mean, it's definitely good, but it's not groundbreaking. Spiteful Strike, recovers health if the target is debuffed, and Superiority. 50% counter chance. And I was running Stormtrooper Han when he first came out, or some other tank, and I hated Sun Fac because he will force you to attack him, and he will counter, and by countering, he's gonna dispel the tank's taunt, and it was just super awful. I've wanted to farm him for a long while, ever since he was farmable in ship and guild store, but I always had something better to do, and he takes so much gear. But with the rework on Ships 2.0 and how insanely powerful the Geonosian Separatists are, I finally pulled the plug, and I loved him. He is gear 12 plus 2 pieces right now, and he is one of the highest total health and protection I have. I think second only to Baze Malbus in my roster, at least. Maybe he's higher. I don't remember quite. But he's amazing in ships, and he's also really a solid tank, like a mid to upper mid tier tank and characters. Next is going to be Geonosian Soldier. He was one of the original meta characters, alongside like Princess Leia, First Order TIE Pilot, and Poe, original Rey. He used to do a ton of damage with his swarm ability. His basic does good damage, and he also gains offense up, and every time he scores a critical hit, he gains 50% turn meter. Obviously not as good right now, but he's still a solid attacker to be used in a mixed team or a Geonosian specific team. But those are not that great. Geonosian Spy, another niche but solid attacker. His Silent Strike kind of works like Darth Vader's Colin Blade and Boba's Execute. If they have a positive status effect, dispel all status effects on Geonosian Spy and the target. So that's all buffs and debuffs on both characters. 40% more damage. This is amazing, and he has pretty good base critical chance, and he gains stealth. Whenever a Geonosian ally inflicts a negative status effect, Geonosian Spy gains 70% turn meter. This used to work under a IG-88 lead, because every time you score a critical hit, you're gonna apply a damage over time, but apparently it's no longer the case. It's being counted as IG-88 inflicting the debuff, not your Geonosian allies, so he doesn't work under a IG lead anymore, unfortunately. And I definitely want to gear up Soldier and Spy to gear 12. Spy is kind of harder because that's a stun gun, and an eyeball, and this is another eyeball, so he's kind of painful. This is Geonosian Soldier. He's a lot easier, just one cuff and some of the finisher gear and an eyeball. Like, not like amazingly easy, but a lot easier than Spy. After that, actually probably more powerful than Spy and Soldier is the B2 Super Battle Joy. He was also Iridium when he came out, and he's now farmable in Cantina for 12 energy? 12 energy, yeah. He used to be amazing. He still is solid, but mostly because of this unique 40% chance to gain 100 turn meter whenever another ally is evaded or damaged by an attack. So he's going to go constantly. He's classified as a tank. He does not taunt, but if you're fighting him, you would want to target him unless you have daze or stun or something like that. Probably daze, because he's going to get out of stun really quickly. So, and if you're fighting on offense, the enemy is going to be attacking your other characters, which is also beneficial to you. If they're attacking B2, he's taking a hit rather than a powerful attacker or some crucial support. But if they're attacking if they are targeting your support and attackers, he can go and mow down and just take all of the enemy buffs and apply buff immunity. He's solid. But this is what's bad about him. His gear, I really don't want to spend a stun gun on him. The other stuff is fine. The Droid Collar I'm saving for Revan when he comes back. I need another one, so that's 34 pieces. but I don't really want to give him a stun gun. My next stun gun is going to Jolie, so I can get the Jedi team ready. So I can just plug Revan into this team when he comes back. But yeah, P2 is great. No longer meta. He hasn't been meta for a long time, but he is really good and can work in a droid team or honestly just any random faction team. So next up is Poggle. Poggle is an easy farm. He's in Galactic War and he is super easy to gear up. I don't give a crap about Sun Fact, but he is gear 11 plus 2 pieces right now, as you can see. Easy. This is pretty easy gear 11 finisher. I'm actually making one of this right now because I just put one on Sun Fact and one on Bosk. So the next one is going on Treya. I am probably 3-4 days away from getting her to 7-star, and I am going to get her to gear 12 the second that happens. He gives offense up, speed up to droids, solid skill, cooldown of 4 currently. I'm not giving him an Omega. Basic has a chance to ability block, really good. Droid and Geonosian allies gain 30% offense. So this is probably the best leader for Geonosians, unless you put them under a generically like Boba that gives crit chance to crit damage. But if you don't want to sacrifice a strong universal leader, this is probably the best leader ability for Geonosians. Metal Hive, 7% evasion, gains turn meter on evade. This is pretty powerful. I've used him back in the days and he will evade a lot because I'm using a lot of droids with him, but he is fine. He's not great, not terrible, probably like a solid C character. And we are down to the last three actually. General Grievous, as we all know, is trash. I got him to gear 9 pretty recently because of his TW bonuses. It was one cuff, and I had a lot of cuffs. I still have quite a bit of cuffs. That's 86 pieces, and he just doesn't do much. Even on TW, I was using him in gear 8, so I wasn't expecting him to do a lot, but he's not that great. And if I get him to gear 11, say, which is something I will probably never do without a rework, I will not use him in any team. Maybe like a secondary droid team, maybe. New Gunray used to be amazing in a heroic tank in the what is it? Not Brotini. It's the Newtini, yeah, Newt and Jawa Scavenger. His leader is solid. That's a lot of turn meter gain for stealth allies, but he doesn't give stealth, so the other characters need to get stealth themselves. So it's kind of limiting what characters can use under him. But his leadership is cool, like a solid C in terms of leadership. But his other skills do absolutely nothing. So he's more like a D tier character. Just pretty bland, honestly. Gains stealth, thermal detonator. Yeah, just not great, but not terrible either. IG 100, again, it's fine. It's probably like a D class. This removes turn meter. He gives counter chance, and what is this? Offense down. It's fine for a like crappy generic character that can do farm in for 10 energy in Cantina. Obviously not a priority. Don't want to gear him up, and I'm definitely not going to spend a Carpante on him. So this is a Separatist faction. You got the these 3 that are really good. Geonosian Spy and Soldier are solid. Speed 2 is solid. Poggle is acceptable. Grievous, Gunray, and Magna Guard are just... they're not trash. They're not the worst. Well, Gunray is not the worst character ever. These 2 are pretty bad. But at the end of the day, these are the characters you really want to gear up. These two, you want to gear them up for ships mostly, and B2 you might want to gear him up, but he takes a stun gun, so probably not. Alright, I'll probably be covering either the Jawas or Tuscans for the next video. Yeah, thanks you for watching.